All personnel, clear the launch platform.
All personnel, clear launch platform. Disneyland is your land.
The Leaving Today podcast, the show about the news, history, and attractions of the Disneyland Resort.
Disneyland is your land.
Well, come on, Wendy. Let's go.
But where are we going?
To Neverland.
Neverland.
Hello, and hello. Welcome to the Leaving Today podcast, episode number 214. My name is Mark, one of the co-hosts here of the LTP. Sitting to the right of me is the trail master of puppets himself, Udi.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there.
Excellent.
You didn't comment on my new flannel, by the way.
We're going to get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to introduce Becky on the left via FaceTime. But Udi, you have a new nickname for her, don't you?
Oh, yeah. You guys tell me what you guys think. We're just going to call her B-Dub for right now. Until we figure out a new one. Because I'm not a big fan of the B-Dubs, which most people refer to as Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm not
Right. Or Best Western.
Yeah, no. When was the last time you heard anybody refer to Best Western?
Well, I see that it's like BW.
Oh, no, I get that. But who calls it
No,
B-Dub?
I don't call it that. I don't
either.
Okay.
Anyway, so B-Dub. We'll work with that one. That's what we're working on because everybody needs a nickname.
Wait a minute. Does Becky get an opinion on this?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I'm fine with it because it's nicer than other stuff you could come up with.
We would not do that to you, Becky.
You wouldn't.
Well, you wouldn't.
No, not
but
me.
Udi would.
Udi might, but that's just Udi.
Uh-huh.
I'm a nice guy. What are you talking about?
Okay, so anyway, sitting to the left of me via FaceTime is B-Dub.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going today?
It's going good.
Okay.
I'm excited to talk to you guys today.
Great. Likewise. And today we have a good show. We've got our good friend Jay on, part of the LTP family for sure.
Jay Breton.
Jay Breton.
I
But
have to say it that
no,
way.
that's not how you say it.
I know, but I see it written down and I want to say it that way. Sorry, Jay.
Sorry, Jay. He's
Love you, brother.
just cracking wires right now. Anyways, Jay will be talking to us about Lunar New Year. He and his wife went there to celebrate his wife's birthday and to try some foods and hopefully get some information out of that. We trust Jay's opinion on this kind of stuff.
Yep.
All around great guy. Before that, we have the news. Hey, opening. Oh, wait a minute. There's an opening question yet, but for those of you just joining the show, there's a lot of. Actually, I don't know how many other podcasts are anymore about Disneyland, but maybe there's a few, and I know you have choices. So thank you for taking time for us. Again, we mentioned this before. If you are listening to any sort of podcast, you are supporting independent thoughts and creativity, and that supports the whole podcast community. And thank you so much for that.
Yeah, and I just, real quick, just going to say that what I said last time,
Yeah.
and I just want to keep on driving that right now because I think it's really important where we are in the zeitgeist to continue to seek out new voices and new ways of discernment.
Yeah.
So keep on going. I mean, we are definitely not the only Disney podcast.
No, we're not.
There are thousands of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Thousands?
Oh, easily, dude. And then, so...
But we're the best, right?
Well, I think so, but I'm
okay.
biased, and I own my bias 100%.
Okay.
But that being said, no, I think in generalities, I think for where we are in the world, and like I said in the zeitgeist, I encourage people to go get more information and from voices you may not have heard before,
Yeah.
and figure things out for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
just don't plug into what you're used to, and break out of the the chamber you're in, break out of the information cycle you may be in, and take more in. More is better.
Yep.
And then learn how to go through it and find a new level of discernment. So thank you for listening to us. We do appreciate it.
Yes, for sure. And then again, so welcome. If you've just discovered us, like we are an honest podcast. We try to tell you our opinions on everything. We're not sponsored by Disneyland in any way. They wouldn't sponsor us anyways.
But we never will.
We never will. anyways, just thank you so much for listening to us. Yeah, if you'd like more LTP in your life, and who wouldn't, every other Thursday, the LTP Lounge goes live, and that is an open forum on our YouTube channel, our YouTube page, which is Leave It Today Podcast. We just go live there. It's the LTP Lounge from 6:30 to 7:30 Indy time, that's Pacific time. And Udi and I, at least Udi and I, will be there live on video to talk about 2 or 3 or 4 different topics that we already have coming up with, but we're going to leave it open to you listeners. If you want to join us, join the chat. You can ask us questions, interact. It doesn't even have to be what we're talking about, but we do keep it Disney related. Yeah. And if you want to be on the actual show, like whether your own video channel, your own video stream, let us know. We can set that up for you. Yeah. And sometimes, hopefully, Becky can join us, or maybe Jess will be there. Or whomever. Marcus might want to come on again. Yeah. We'd love to have that. Yeah. Anyone who, seriously, it's an open invite. Do not be afraid. Yep. Yeah, don't be afraid.
Yeah, don't be afraid. And that one we're doing a little bit different. We're keeping it to an hour. Yes. We're finding that format to be working. Let us know when you guys tune in if you like that. And we're trying to be a lot more pinpoint and hit more current topics. Yep. And be a little bit more on the nose or on point with things with a topic. Instead of here, I said it before, we're on about a week delay from recording to production, and when it's drop when the episode drops. So, but that one, please join us, join in, and if you want, like we said, if you want to lurk, that's fine. Sure. But I encourage you to drop into the chat and communicate and talk with us, because that's the main vehicle we want interaction with our listeners. Real life, so nothing's going to be we already don't filter our stuff very much as a whole, and we're pretty opinionated, and even there, it's a lot more things so we can just do things right off the cuff and be real, 100% real, like we are. But I feel like when you're in that arena where you're actually conversing in real time, it adds a different thing to it. Yeah, for sure. And we pull up 3D maps and talk about, hey, this is where this is going to go. And then we zoom around and have those conversations. We can't do that on a podcast. No. So that's another element we could do. But it's really fun. Yep. All right, so that's every other Thursday, 6:30 to 7:30 on LTP Lounge, which is on Leaving Today Podcast. So do subscribe. Mm-hmm. Okay. And like. Today's opening question, I was thinking about this the other day. I was at the parks last month, and there was a period where I hung out by myself for about, half an hour, walking up and down Main Street, just taking in the atmosphere. The question I came up with was, do you, the three of us, each of you, do you like to go to the parks by yourself, or is it better when you're with friends and loved ones? It's a different vibe for sure, but I have my thoughts on that because I was thinking about that as I was walking around by myself. So what say you guys? What do you prefer? Go ahead, Becky.
Okay, so that can be kind of tough, actually, to say, because every time I've gone, I go with people, but there have been times I stay by myself and maybe people go back and rest or go do something. And there is something very nice about that, because you can kind of just walk, you can people watch, you just do what you want to do. The times that I've done it, it's more just kind of roaming, not even necessarily attractions. It's just looking through shops or watching people, stopping and catching part of a parade. And that aspect I enjoy, but then I guess I do like seeing something and sharing the excitement with somebody.
Yes. Okay.
And so if I have to pick, it is going with loved ones, or friends, family, just because of sharing that excitement. Some are more enjoyable to go with than others, I guess, but that aspect I like.
A good answer. Yep. Solid answer. I guess I'll go because you're probably going to go last. Yeah. Okay. I prefer to go with friends and loved ones. When I was by myself on that last trip for about half an hour, I was like, oh, this is cool for about a half an hour. But as Becky said, there's things that, this is why you have to go for multiple days, because there's so many things that they ram at you and throw at you, and you just will overlook stuff so easily. But when you seriously get a chance to stop and smell the roses, like literally look at the roses and the plants, and you go, holy crap, this is awesome. Mm-hmm. I want to share that with someone. I mean, does it matter? I mean, it's like, oh, like Annika would love this, or Ariel would love that. Wendy would think this was kind of cool. And Udi, I know Udi would make fun of this, but he would still like it. And it's like, okay, so I'm taking pictures with those people in mind, thinking, okay, when I see them again, I'm just going to show them this. But then I'm thinking, it'd be nice if they were here. And, but I, in concept, yeah, it's kind of cool to go by yourself and walk around. But for me, I like to have some banter. I like to have some different opinions. And hey, what do you think about that? Or do you want to try that crazy drink thing? So kind of having a nice balance of when you're with your friends and family, and then like Becky said, oh, maybe there is a chance where if they're going to go do Star Tours or something, great, have fun. And then I'll have half an hour by myself. I'm cool with that. Yep. But then when I see them, I'm going to say, hey, while you guys were gone, I totally saw this thing at the store that I think you might want, or yeah. So I'm always like that. Okay. So my answer is, I guess, very much aligned with what Becky said. Yeah.
Yep. And I'm gonna fall in line with you guys. I mean, when you go to the park, the main thing is going to be who you're with, right? I mean, that becomes a huge element. There are plenty of people who go by themselves, and nothing.
And you have done that.
I have done that.
And, okay.
But yeah, I definitely prefer to be with the people that I call my people.
Your tribe.
Yeah, my tribe. It is tribal. I was about to say it's tribal. I know, but it things. How can I put it? Things are usually better when you have somebody who understands what it is. And then you can just look at each other. Like, you don't need to have words. You can just point at a couple of things and you just kind of nod and agree. And to me, it adds, I mean, and I'm talking about anything in life, but really in the park, when you're walking around, and Mark, when you and I walk through the park, and then when we walk around with 13 and Jess and, all the different people we've met, it is always better when you have that people, because that camaraderie is there. Mm-hmm. Now, that being said, I've had plenty of moments by myself in the park.
Yeah.
And for me, when I do that, I guess, okay, without going too deep into it, whenever I go off by myself into the park, it's usually because I need I'm going to experience something like in my own head.
Yeah, yeah.
And I go off. I mean, one of the last times I did that really was in Galaxy's Edge.
Oh.
And I went to a corner and right by the big door. Okay, the big door. You guys all know where the big door is, right? And I sat there by myself.
Then you weeped?
I had, and I recorded. I did the audio in there, but that was and that's on our Patreon, I think. That audio. But it was a moment that I needed for myself. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, those aren't very often, but they do happen when I'm in the park. And I don't know, my head space goes and go there. And I'm like, okay, you guys can go. I need to be here for a minute by myself. I've done that. I've done that at the end of the day when I know my trip is coming to an end. I will typically do that. Like, that way I can just say goodbye to the park because I'm not sure when I'm coming back, and taking what I want so I can just kind of get my head straight. But that being said, the majority of the time, I don't mind, like, getting up, going, walking, walking in the park, security, all that, going coffee, all that with my tribe. And it is always just better because we're all there to enjoy. And then we walk into the bigger tribe of the Disney family as a whole. So, I infinitely prefer being with people that are my people, with those fleeting moments of just my own mental thing where I go into my head and I need, like, be away from people. But it's rare when I do that. Yeah.
No, in fact, when you say that, I actually vividly recall when we were there and you went, at the end of the night, you actually went by yourself over to Haunted Mansion.
Yep.
And just did your own walk back there, and then walked back to where I were. I think I was at the hub or something.
Yeah. You were on Main Street. I remember that. And I walked back. And I remember going, I'm going to go there, and you guys, I'll meet up with you. And I just took off. And I don't need to make a big thing out of it. Just like, hey, I'll meet up with you, and I just take off.
Yeah. But there was a period of time where I remember when you were there for like 3 or 4, maybe 5 days, and you were just by yourself, and But during some of the trip there, you were with some other people. But the last couple of days, you kind of went there by yourself, and you
Last day, I think, is when I think first day and last day. I'm trying to remember. Like I went in.
I was all like jealous. I'm like, Udi's here like all day by himself, hanging out, just doing things, whatever he wants to do.
Yep.
I'm sure you ate at Rancho like 3 times.
That did remind me. The first time I went to Disney World, I went because I was running the marathon.
Oh.
But my group that I was with friends, and my mom was doing it, but they were doing the Dopey Challenge, so a 5K, 10K. It was like a 5K, 10K half marathon, then the full marathon. And I wasn't doing the Dopey Challenge. So anyways, I went to Animal Kingdom by myself for the day.
Oh.
And I do have like really good memories of being there by myself. Like I remember going on the dinosaur ride, and I sat with a little girl who was scared, but their family was like kind of broken up. You know, they were like a family of 5, so they kind of needed somebody with the little girl.
Right.
And it was just like, I don't know, that was kind of fun too.
Sure.
You know? And just take it in.
Oh, well, interesting. Animal Kingdom by yourself. I mean, was that your first time there?
Yeah, so that part was kind of, I remember seeing stuff like, oh, my mom is going to love this. Or, I can't believe I did this. But.
Yeah, I remember that was the first park we went to a couple years ago when we went to Disney World for the whatever on our trip. And it was one of the very, very first times I felt completely overwhelmed. I did not know the layout of the park whatsoever. I'm like, where are we going? Do I go right? Do I go left? What? Where's this?
If you want to see Mark freak out, go to a place without a plan. And that he's unfamiliar with. Then you watch the anxiety level peg.
Yeah, I'm very much a planner. Yeah.
Bink.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's go. Wait. Let's go.
Yeah, but I can imagine that would be kind of fun after you got your sea legs around there.
Right.
Because that is such a beautiful park. Holy cow, that's a beautiful park.
It is so beautiful.
Yeah. Highly recommend that place. All right. Well, good discussion around the opening question. All right, let's go to the news. But before we go to the news, the randomizer has shown up on this Sunday.
Again?
I know. He took a week off or a show off, but here he's back again. Udi, what is the randomizer for our new listeners?
The infernal machine, known as the randomizer, is a contraption that will not leave. It will not relent until we give it what it needs. What it needs, it demands from us, is it will select 3 different attractions from either Disneyland proper or DCA, and we must pick one to keep as is, get rid of one completely, like boom goes the dynamite, bye-bye, or what destroyed by the Empire, as Mark likes to say.
Destroyed by the Empire.
Or modified. But if we're going to pick it to be modified, we must tell it how we would modify it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or the show cannot progress. We
It
cannot.
will not. Like, I literally, like, it, when we don't do that, I pack up my stuff and go home, because like, I ain't going nowhere. So,
yeah, and then Jay's never going to be able to come on if we can't get this done.
It becomes a whole thing, so we just do it quickly and get him out of here.
Yeah. All right. So today's randomizer has spit out 3 attractions. This one's actually all in Disneyland. I do like it when it does cross the Esplanade, but here we are. Snow White's Enchanted Wish, the Astro Orbiter, and Pirate's Lair on Tom Sawyer Island. One must be destroyed by the Empire. One must be kept in its pristine condition as it is, and one must just be gone. One must be modified to your liking. Once again, Snow White's Enchanted Wish,
Got him.
Astro Orbiter, and Pirate's Lair on Tom Sawyer's Island.
I got
You
mine.
said you have a Moody?
Yeah, I got it already.
Okay, you do it, because this one is hard for me.
So believe it or not, this is actually kind of easy for me.
I cannot believe it.
Now, for everybody, if you recall, not too long ago, they did redo Snow White.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I like what they did there.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? I'm keeping it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
Oh.
keeping it. Because I thought it overall was great. Like, I enjoyed it. I went on it with Jess when it, like, I think the month after it opened or a couple months
That sounds
after it
about
opened.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was good. I enjoy it. I'd ride it again. Now, the question then becomes, which one goes away, right? Is it Pirates Lair or is it Astro Orbiter?
Oh.
Okay. I will end the suspense. Pirates Lair, sorry, it's gone. Yeah. I know. Not a lot of people go to it.
Really?
Yeah.
We're not talking about Disney World here, Udi.
No, I know. Not sadly,
soon,
I love
too
it.
soon.
I love it. But compared to what I think the Astro Orbiter now, here's what they need to do. And this is the thing, is like I couldn't think of a good modification for Pirate's Lair. Really, to be fair.
Oh.
That's why I'm going to pick it into there.
What?
Yeah. I mean, one that makes sense, okay?
Okay.
Now, in my mind, I mean, if give me a little bit longer, maybe I would have come up with it. But
Yeah.
Astro Orbiter, it is the easiest one to fix. Go back up. Go up high.
Yeah.
Go back up high. Now, that is a simple one, right? Well, and I'm air quoting simple because it isn't simple. But move
Yeah.
that up high. But what I would also add to it, the standard Astro Orbiter goes up and down, as you can go up and down, then it goes in a circle, right?
Yeah.
The only other thing that I would do is I would make it go higher. Now, what I mean by go
What?
even
Higher?
higher. So as you're
No.
moving, right, you have your standard up and down as you're going in a circle, but then have the center, the main rocket,
Yeah.
that thing. So as you're going up and down,
Hey.
then that bad boy goes up and then down. So, but quicker.
Yeah.
So even though you're going up and down, right, as
Yeah.
you're doing your up and down trajectory, then the center post, so the entirety of all of them go up and down at the same time. So you're literally going up and up and up, and then dropping. That makes
Okay.
sense.
It does. Yeah.
So that movement of the up and down
Yeah.
is exaggerated, depending on how you go.
Oh, I see. I see what you're talking about.
Yeah. So
That'd be scary.
It would be, but it'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
I'd be hanging out the side going woo, and then make them a little bit bigger too
For me.
for Mark size people.
Yeah.
There you go.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
I have a little anxiety with your modifications, but I do think that's good.
It is good. Yeah. But I do have
It'll
anxiety.
be okay. You can be 50 feet in the air. You're fine. You're fine.
Mm-hmm.
You're fine.
Do you want me to go, Becky, or do you want to go?
Yeah, you go.
Okay, so I'm going to keep Snow White's Enchanted Wish, just because I think it's where it is. I think Fantasyland is almost untouchable, except for maybe the Fantasyland Theater. But the way it is now, I would keep. Again, Snow White is not really my jam, but I do appreciate the artwork in it, and I think I want to. Yeah, we did go on it last time when I was there for my birthday, and it's fine. It's whatever. It has its place. I am going to remove Astro Orbiter from existence.
Wow.
For the fact that we already have that kind of ride in Fantasyland with Dumbo. It's the same thing. It's just themed different. I mean, it's a classic spinner thing. And DCA's got their own with the emotional whirlwind. Or the former Flix Flyers. It's the same thing to me. And I mean, I would like to see something more for Tomorrowland. I think that's, while it's kind of thrilling to see it up on top, I do agree with that. But the randomizer wants us to come up with something else. So I'm going to go a little different and get that out. Pirate's Lair, I would like, because I also still think it's important for people, and especially kids, to go out and burn off energy and explore and hike and go through caves and do that kind of stuff, go over bridges. But I would like to see that as a restaurant out there. That's where maybe like a barbecue, where you could actually go out there and during the daytime have at a barbecue, or even at night, it would be a blast. I don't know how that would jive with Fantasmic, but have it go out there where you could go. We're gonna have a barbecue, and you take the Tom Sawyer's, what do they call those things, like the skiff, a flat
boat.
Yeah, I know there's a name for that. Is it called skiff or something?
Might be a skiff.
Yeah,
I call it a flat boat.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go on those, and you have to make reservations, and maybe not the barbecue, but something that'd be some sort of cool place for you that people would want to go to. But still keep it as an interactive thing where kids can go out, even adults can go out and just, hey, this is a different perspective from the park, and that kind of stuff is, I think, incredibly important to have. Much like the Autopia for kids, just to be able to move something. So that's my modification for Pirate's Lair on Tom Sawyer's Island. All right.
That's good.
Thank you.
I like that.
Thank you.
Mine is going to be kind of similar. So I'm going to keep Snow White.
Ah.
I do think that they did a great job when they did redo it or kind of made those updates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think that there is a place for Snow White. I mean, she needs to have a presence at the park like that.
Yeah.
Just being the significance kind of the movie and the Disney company and all of that. I would remove the astro orbiters as well.
Ah.
I do like the idea of moving them up, of course, but I think they also add a lot of congestion to me as you're kind of going into that area.
Funnel of
And
death.
so,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and so I think getting that out would be beneficial. And they kind of freak me out. They are like Dumbo, but I feel like I'm going to fall out when I'm in them. And,
Oh, yeah.
like, because they're at that angle.
Right.
So, yeah, I wouldn't mind them leaving. Now, admittingly, I have not been on Pirate's Lair in a long time.
Well.
Like, I'm going to say it probably was Tom Sawyer the
Okay.
last time I went on.
Mm-hmm.
But I loved that as a kid. I plan on our next trip going there because, my kids are at ages that they like it or, want that sort of thing. But I don't have anything creative to top like what you did because the restaurant idea I think is amazing.
Oh. Well, it's not about topping. It's just about
Yeah, just
yeah.
changing it.
Yeah.
So, like, my changes, it's hard to give something specific since I haven't been out there to specific, pirates. But I would like to see something more Tom Sawyer again.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I liked that theme. I remember kind of, like, going up. Like, I have memories of kind of, like, going up on, like, a little fort house. And I enjoyed that when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I guess, yeah, Tom Sawyer is, like, canceled, I think, today. But I really liked that book when I was younger. I read it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. They made the Disney movie Tom and Huck with Jonathan Taylor Thomas when I was younger.
Yep.
And I loved that.
Okay.
It was good. So something a little, I would say like that, just a little bit different re-theme and having than the pirate would be my only suggestion. Kind of like something that, but I guess the canoes kind of can go with the pirate area too. But like maybe something that tied that in, like maybe not even necessarily like the same re-theme of Tom Sawyer, but something that kind of connected the canoes and maybe even like culturally you could learn something like from like Davy Crockett times, like I don't know, just something kind of like that.
Oh yeah, nice. I like that idea too.
Yeah.
When are you guys going to the park?
We're going actually I'll be there in 2 weeks from today.
Okay, so now you have a mission. Maybe take the family out to Tom Sawyer's Island just real quick.
Yeah, I think, you know what, then I probably need to tell you what I'm thinking after that. Like if I would actually change a re-theme or if I would leave it as that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you, that's going to be an assignment for me.
Yeah. Just I know I was gonna say I think your girls would get a kick out of it, although maybe kind of too young, maybe kind of scared going into that pirate's lair part. Because remember, there's that there's that cave you and I went into, and there's the jewels and there's a skull in there.
Yeah.
That may be a little too intense for them. But other than that, it's fun. I mean, there's a bridge you can go over. The fort you can't go into anymore. But yeah. Anyways, cool. That's right. 2 weeks. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But
Okay.
I love the restaurant idea. That'd be amazing to sit out
Thanks.
there, like with it getting dark and seeing the light.
Yep, that would be a blast out there. I mean, to be very small, to be limited, but still,
Or even if they could turn the Mark Twain into a restaurant at night.
Yeah.
That would be so cool with tables on it.
Yeah. The problem,
like you just sit there.
Yeah, the problem is the crossing at night. I think they have a problem with that. They get kind of antsy about that. I don't know why, but
It could be.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean from the land to the island?
Correct.
Yep. Yeah, they would probably have to do some refurbishment to put some more lighting out there, but that's not hard for them to do that.
Exactly.
No, just to figure that out. Okay, well, good answers for the randomizer. I guess we can move on to the news. Although I'm going to read one random quote from Awesome Facts for Disney Fans by Lisa Marie Bopp, and I'm just going to flip through this page. This is the page is being flipped through. And I'm just going to stop right here. Loyalty pays off. Okay. Walt Disney, the founder of the media giant company, seemed to have a lot of affection for his housekeeper, Thelma Howard. For Christmas and her birthday, her employer gave her Disney company stock as a gift. By the time of her death, she held $9 million worth of Disney stock. The Disney founder stated that Thelma was practically family, so the generous gift is unsurprising. Then again, that's a random quote from the book Awesome Facts for Disney Fans by Lisa Marie Bopp. Yeah. I guess
That's cool.
I guess it does pay to work for Walt Disney.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for that, let's head on over to the news.
You listen to me now. You are talking about things that you do not understand.
All right. So here's the news for episode 214. New additions coming to the hotels of Disneyland Resort. There are exciting plans for 3 hotels of the Disneyland Resort, providing even more options when you plan your Disney vacation. The future will bring 2 all-new concierge lounges, new decor touches to guest rooms, new themed suites, and a beautiful new look for the Napa Rose restaurant. Let's start with the Napa Rose. In fact, we're going to, when Jay's on today, we'll ask him about his thoughts on the Napa Rose. Napa Rose to bloom with new interior, beautiful patio. The award-winning Napa Rose is taking its dining experience to the next level with an exquisite look that celebrates the craftsman design with an eye toward modern California luxury and approachability. Okay.
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 I didn't know those went together, but
Yeah, I mean, up until this point, I could not even approach the Napa Rose, but now that I can because they're going to upgrade the approachability. So, Becky, do you feel like maybe with this new concept art that you might be able to approach it?
I think so. Like looking at that, I think maybe it's approachable.
Yeah, good answer. Yeah, I think they hit the nail on the head with this one because I might approach it, then I might turn around real quick and like run away.
When you see the menu prices,
Oh yeah. Well, the restaurant will have a rustic elegance and will be a tapestry of California's storied history of wine and winemaking, using natural textures such as reclaimed French oak flooring and columns, a type of wood used to make wine barrels. Hand pinged artisan metals. Hand-pinged artisan metals, leathers, deep colors of Cabernet, and an eye-catching chandelier inspired by California's Mission grapevines. Along with its existing dynamic exhibition kitchen, the restaurant will expand the counters where guests can watch the masters in action. Outside, the gorgeous patio is being enhanced with more seating for lovely alfresco dining, with 2 new fireplaces adding to the charming ambiance. Napa Rose will temporarily close this spring and is slated to reopen in fall of 2025. The restaurant, known for its refined California cuisine made with superb ingredients, will introduce new menu and still feature fan favorites such as the Smiling Tiger Salad, along with an impeccable wine collection of more than 1,500 labels. Okay, so I think this is good. We're going to ask Jay what his thoughts are, because I know Jay's been there once or twice. I never have.
Yeah, neither.
But it's on my list. It's one of those places that I always think I want to go to. Then I look at the menu, and this is just me. I'm so much a simpleton with food. Half the stuff I don't even know what they're talking about. I don't know what is this.
Yeah.
So I feel a bit embarrassed by it. But at some point I want to go there. It's on my list. But I do like the design. But I would be cool with getting a drink and an appetizer and sitting outside. Maybe not getting a full meal. But I do want the ambience, especially now that it's going to be, approachable for me.
I hate that word.
Well, it's
It
funny.
does look beautiful.
No,
Yeah, see, Becky's feeling like wants to go.
Okay. No, every time I hear that kind of verbiage,
Yeah.
I want to bang my head into a counter.
You do?
But yeah, because all they're trying to say is it's going to look nice, but they can't just say it's going to look nice.
Well, on the flip side of things, there are quite a few Jack in the Boxes that are not approachable. When people just like sit on the curb outside.
Well,
and
but
hanging out.
is that Jack in the
That
Jack in
is
the Box's
very
fault?
true.
What?
That isn't Jack in the Box's fault. Well, maybe if you say, well, you're not clearing out the front of the door,
Yeah.
but
I don't feel like I want to approach it.
No, here's the problem, and
I'm joking.
no, it drives me crazy because I'm like, you don't got to sound smart, okay? You're fine. You say it's going to be really nice and homey. And, I mean, they're
Inviting. I think inviting.
Approachable is another word. Like somebody got us to the source and said, how can I say inviting without saying inviting?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a small gripe. It just annoys me when people try to sound smarter than they are.
Right.
It's a personal gripe, okay?
Yeah. But it's going to be a tapestry of luxury and approachability.
Again.
So you're going to be able to feel the luxury just from looking at it.
Okay.
Okay.
Definitely, though,
Thank
that's not
you.
a place. Like, if I'm going to be paying that, I don't want to go with my kids. Like, that's somewhere
No.
I would want to go as something very special.
Yes.
So it wouldn't be approachable for me with them.
No.
That I
No.
could say. Or, I might be told they don't have a table when they see us approaching.
Well, yeah, and this is going to make me, and this is the same question I have with Arthur and Sons, this high-end steakhouse coming to downtown Disney, and I think I brought that up to Jess.
Yeah.
It's going to be very curious, You're going to look at the price menu and the price and go, okay, what is the ambiance here? And if there's a bunch of kids with like Mickey balloons running around, like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I get that because like this looks like the type of place that you're going to either maybe you're on a trip because it's something special and adults only, or locals of course, or you're with grandparents and they're taking the kids for the night and you get to do something special.
Yep.
Yep.
But when
But I think places like this are going to call for a level of
decorum.
Yeah.
You would hope so, Udi.
Yeah, I do. And again, not a quick service type restaurant.
No, there's not a quick service to go counter on the outside of this.
No.
This is an event.
I think this would be on my list of places to try, but I'm not really a sit down with a glass of wine type person. So I don't know fully that it's appealing to me, or maybe it's just the stage I'm at right now.
Yep.
But that's the only thing. Just when you do look at the price and everything, but it doesn't take away from the beauty of it. I just don't know that it's necessarily what I'm into.
Gotcha. No, understood.
But I mean, I'm simple too.
Well, the thing is, I'm not a really big wine person, at all, but I do understand the value of having like a cocktail and some appetizers and having a chill moment,
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
But this definitely appeals to certain people, and I think it's great. And like I said, or like you said, Becky, this is on my list. I want to try it. Gotta see what this new menu is. But we'll be sure to ask Jay about what his thoughts are.
Yep.
This. Okay. Plans are underway for 2 all-new concierge lounges at Disney Hotel in Disney's Grand Californian. This summer, the Disneyland Hotel will unveil an all-new concierge lounge called the High Key Club, celebrating the music and sounds of Disneyland Park circa 1955. Swanky and sophisticated, colorful and fun, the lounge will also pay homage to the mid-century modern aesthetic of the era. The stylish oasis in the sky will draw inspiration from the enduring legacy of original and classic sounds of Disneyland Park. Yeah, okay, we don't need to go through all that. The concept art, which we're looking at right now, has a lounge which is elevated and fireworks in the background. So I assume this is the Disneyland Hotel that they were talking about at first. And this is a concierge lounge. And then there's also this awesome one at the Grand Californian, which looks incredible. But
Yeah, it does.
But here's my thing with all this stuff is these are member exclusive experiences. So the general public doesn't get to go. And I was talking to Wendy about this the other day, and it's like, it's enough just to be able to go to the park with your family for a few days. I mean, holy cow, that's crazy expensive. But then you have this whole other level of concierge stuff if you're staying on property, and they get all these things. And I just don't. It kind of rubs me the wrong way that this stuff is exclusive to people that have the money, and it sort of makes me feel. I'm speaking for myself. It makes me feel less than.
Right.
And I don't know if that's an appropriate feeling to have, but
Well, here's where it kind of goes back and forth with it. I don't like when they do. Okay, hold on. Let me back that up. There are moments in time where I don't mind things like that. Like if you're dropping coin on a high end hotel or whatever, and you're already paying a high end, then why wouldn't you want a little bit more for your money?
Sure.
So at that point, I'm kind of like, okay, I get it. But I also flip that coin and go where you are, but then you're now creating a level of have and have nots. And I don't like that either. So it's like one of those weird things where do you find that balance? So when they're adding one for each hotel, I'm kind of like, isn't that a bit much?
It's a bit much.
Like, I get it in one sense is like, well, one's for Disney Hotel and one's for California. And they're their own separate hotel.
Yeah.
So the mentality is like, well, that's for that hotel. And I get that. But I don't like the feeling of them doing this more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're doing this more. And that is where I have the problems. Like, okay, I don't mind it. But when you go too far, then you're really becoming the heir. You're creating an error, potentially an error of have and have nots.
Oh, they clearly are for me.
They are.
Yeah.
And that's my point is like they're going too far now. Like pull it back. Like the concept art and everything, it looks really cool. Like I would not mind hanging out in there. But the point is like how many people can and how many people will. You know what I mean?
Right. And if I'm part of the TDA and I have a seat at the table and I'm thinking, let's look at our fiscal budget for 2025. Where do we really want to put our design and stuff into?
Yep.
Well, we're not building the carriage house. We're going to buy that off the market.
Yeah,
put that in. Why are we investing thousands, millions of dollars into this when we should be doing some other things? And this is okay. Just staying at the Disneyland Hotel without the concierge level is crazy expensive. I mean, it's it's ridiculous. And to me, again, this is like, it's almost to the point of like, hey, this whole new Coco ride we're going to build or Avatar Land, it's not for you. It's going to be for the Club 33 members.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we can't do this? No, you can't. Well, you can if you want to mortgage your house or like refinance and do all this stuff. But, and I'm just saying that. I know there's always going to be different people with different levels of money, but overwhelmingly, regular Disneyland guests are not going to be able to experience the high key club.
No. And like I said, that is.
I want to go there, but I can't.
Yeah. And there is the problem with the whole thing. Like we don't. I mean, and I get mad at it because again, we argue the point of like, would you know if Walt would be okay with it? I go no, because that he wouldn't be, because he got Disneyland specifically for the fact to have anybody come.
Yeah. Right.
And that doesn't operate that way anymore.
No.
But this is where the capitalist in me doesn't mind it to an extent. But when you create a park, at the core and the heart of it, at the beginning of it was to be an all-inclusive area for anybody to be able to come. And then you've been dissecting that out.
Yep.
It becomes a thing where you're kind of going against its whole creation. So, again, a weird balancing act. But Disney has definitely gone too far in the other direction. And thank you, Bob Iger, for that. And I will throw shade at Bob Iger at any opportunity, and I'm taking the opportunity. A lot of this stuff you may argue back and forth, but this is not what the company was meant to be.
No, not this kind of stuff.
No.
And like I said, if I had a seat at the table, I would go.
Yeah. And back to that point, when they announced all that money, like we're going to be investing blah 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 into the parks, and everybody was like, "Woo!" All the people were the pixie dusters were flying crazy, like, "Look at all that!" And I kind of went like, "Okay." I already threw kind of like I went realistic and like that's not as much as you think. One, and then my other thought was to this point is like, well, what are they really going to invest it in? And now we're beginning to see it.
Yeah.
So I am of the mind like, no, go back into the freaking parks. I don't know how many more times Disney needs to get bludgeoned over the head with it. Disney corporate, mind you.
Yeah.
Your bread and butter is in the parks. The majority of your investment and your CapEx is all need to go back into the park. You want to get attendance up. The biggest cash cow is Disney Florida, followed up by Disneyland proper. Those are what you've got, okay? You need to reinvest heavily in the park, not in stuff like this. As cool as this is, and the idea of it and the concept of everything is pretty cool, it isn't for the park and it isn't for everybody. You need to go back to that and get back into the park. I want to hear about what you're going to do with Tomorrowland. I want to hear about freaking Disney Forward. I want to hear about, how we're going to, we're cleaning this up, we're painting it, we're doing all these things. That is what makes me excited about the park and the company when I hear things like that, not another VIP lounge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Again, I guess I'll just wrap it up by saying, and maybe it's just me that's frustrated, but if these things were open to the public, huh?
Clearly not. I'm right there with you.
Oh yeah, but like the High Key Club or whatever they're calling it. There's two different clubs. One at the Disneyland Hotel, and one at Grand California. If anybody could walk in there and get dinner or a drink there or something, I would like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's the problem that I can't.
Yeah.
That's the part that bothers me.
Yeah. It is literally being partitioned off. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I don't mind hotels having something special that's for hotel guests.
Yes.
Who are paying, but I just don't know that this is that thing that it should be. I don't know. It just
I would argue that it isn't.
It isn't. I don't know that that's what the hotel guests are looking for, but I could be totally wrong with that. But I just think, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me to do it.
Agreed.
No.
Yeah.
Not right now. Not right now.
Not right now.
Yeah, I think, and I'll go back to it real quick. Disneyland and Disney corporate is in a very perilous position right now. There are things they need to be doing to regain trust in the public, and this isn't one.
No, this is they have their targets aimed at the wrong direction here.
Correct.
It does feel a little bit tone deaf to me.
A bit.
Yeah, they've been doing that for a while.
Yep.
Yeah.
I should mention that the Picture Hotel is also going to have a new concierge lounge called the Creators Club.
There you go.
Well, they already have it, and it. This is. Yeah. Oh, this is like at the club level guests. Like the elite of the elite can stay here, and they have their own whatever lounge. So like this isn't really like unique. It's just that they're kind of throwing it in your face. All right, let's go move on. Disney's Grand California to add new decor to guest rooms. The hotel will begin refreshing all of its guest rooms, including the Disney Vacation Club villas. The decor will complement the room's existing arts and crafts motif, yet will add new bold colors across the carpets, upholstery, and bedding, with accents inspired by the beautiful California wildflower blooms often found in the impressionistic plein air paintings that help define the art movement of the arts and crafts period. All of that is going to get lost on 99% of the guests.
Correct.
So I find that to be funny.
Yeah.
I mean, all of it. No, they don't. I'm telling you, they don't care.
No.
There's 1% people who are going to go, oh, yeah, I get what they're doing, and I really appreciate it. But no one's going to go, oh, I love the Chardonnay color of the floor. No one's going to.
Yeah.
No.
Again, the investment. I mean, here's the crazy part for me. Like, I don't mind that they're refreshing rooms.
Nope.
Every hotel should do that.
Sure, of course.
Oh, yeah.
The Grand California has been around for a minute now, and I don't recall the last time they did it.
Maybe just for health reasons, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, but yeah, everything gets worn out. Everything, I mean, with the people, like carpet, drape, couches, beds, mattresses, all that. So if you're at a point where you need to reinvest in more, like, okay, I don't mind that. Like, this is weird, like, because this is, if you can afford to stay, then they're doing it for everybody who can stay. So yeah, even though you're right, most people are not going to care about that painting and the color and the Chardonnay matching the wall and blah blah blah. I get all that.
Yeah.
They're going to walk and go like, "This is really nice." This is when they can't quantify why they feel good in there.
Yeah.
But that is why.
Sure.
Yeah.
I do feel like it is a shame, though, that they don't have that all of our Disney hotels here are more on the high-end luxury. I
Yep.
forget what they call them at Disney World, but I do wish that they had more of a variety. Even though there are so many good neighbor hotels,
Yep.
I wish that Disney themselves would add to that variety.
Yeah, I think those are called the value resorts, right, or something like that.
Yeah, the value. You're right.
Like the Art of Animation and Art of something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are all very decent hotels.
They are, and they do. I mean, I don't know enough about them to give you total specifics, but I know anybody can come into the restaurants they offer.
Yep. Okay, there's other. No, I think you're right, Becky. Yeah, for sure. There's other signature suites going on. I'm not going to get into details because I'm getting kind of worked up already with this stuff. Anyways, there are. I mean, I'm serious.
Yeah.
The incredible suites, the ink and paint, whatever. Suites, whatever.
The Coco one. And see, I do like it that they're theming. I like the theming to like Disney properties like that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I think that that's fun.
Right, but
Yeah.
it's only people with tons of money and Disney influencers who are going to be hanging out here.
Yeah.
Oh, look
you're
at
right.
me. Yeah, look at me. I've been doing a YouTube channel for like 8 months. I get to stay here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great.
Mm-hmm.
This is not me being sour grapes because I'm not sure I'd be able to do this with a straight face.
No, you'd be realistic when you walked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next news item. General tickets for Disneyland After Dark Star Wars Night are live. Disney Park has officially kicked off its Disneyland After Dark events. The sold-out Sweetheart Night celebrating Valentine's Day is currently taking over the park on select nights, that is. These extremely popular events give ticketed guests exclusive after-hours access to the park along with event-themed entertainment, food activities, and more. With that said, the events tend to sell out fast. All right, Star Wars Night is available now. It's 8 days starting April 8th and ends up on May 6th. Tickets range from $169 to $189. Yeah, we know all about this stuff.
Like, no.
That's what? No to what?
All of it. Too expensive, man.
It's really expensive. You
It
get
is really expensive.
the party starts at 9 and goes to 1, but you can mix in at 6
Oh, man. I'd rather be in the park the whole day.
and then leave when you get the kid kicked out.
Yep.
Yeah, you get much better value for that.
Yeah. I mean, I get everything they do, and it is cool, and I don't fault people for going.
No.
But I'm like, man, it isn't for me. I can't. The value proposition doesn't add up for me.
Value proposition is a good term. You may see that later.
Okay.
I'm just gonna check this real quick to see if we could get. Can you buy it? You can buy these on the Disney app, right?
I think
know.
so.
I think, yeah, go.
Oh, special event tickets. Let's see. Hold on. I'll do it right now. Can I send this out? Let's see how much. What is available for? Yep. Select tickets right now for Disneyland After Dark for Star Wars nights. Let's see what is available. April 8th is available. Actually, everything is available.
Interesting.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well,
Eight.
1, 8.
It'll be 8.
Yeah,
8 in
1, 2,
total.
3, 4, 5. Yep. Okay. So all dates are available right now. So this tells me something that this may not. This should tell you a lot.
It should.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm curious about the Oogie Boogie Bash this year, how much those tickets are going to be, because... Well, okay, what does this tell you, Becky? Just tell me what jumps off the page for you first.
For me, like you're talking about with the tickets still being available.
Yeah.
I think that they hit their max price of what people are wanting to pay for it. I don't think that it adds a value. Even when you're looking at, okay, a 189, you're going from what, like 6 p.m. to midnight
To 1.
to 1, okay, but you could technically just buy a day ticket and go until you get kicked out, and it seems to be a better value. Not to mention, they're not doing anything that special. I think there'd be more of a draw if there was maybe they'd have to add some more special stuff, like and I think it needs to go beyond special characters.
Yeah.
Of why they would I just don't think people are wanting to pay that for that. And like Star Wars specifically, well, they still have the like May the 4th be with you celebrations and like Season of the Force going on, so it doesn't really add anything special
Right.
by doing a night. But sorry, that was probably longer than you
No, you
wanted.
don't. You don't need to apologize. I think you're spot on.
Yep.
What do you think of that?
I agree with that, and I will go one layer deeper. Depending on how this goes, but I think it's going to be a huge signifier that the popularity overall of Disney Star Wars is waning. It is dropping.
Yep.
Good point.
With the popularity or lack of, rather, to put it is a better way to put it, of Skeleton Crew and I don't even want to say the name. The other one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You all know what I'm talking about. And the last few, Disney Star Wars popularity is waned very, very, very much. And I will say this, shout out to my brother. When you have my brother, who for a long time would always say more Star Wars is better. And now we were talking the last episode that we talked about Skeleton Crew. He has since retracted that statement.
Oh.
And he's like, maybe not. So that's pretty telling because, I mean, he doesn't love everything, but we've always been in the mindset like, we need more. You know what I mean? We love it. But now we're all kind of like, wait a second.
Yeah, wait a second.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe we don't need to do as much. We need to focus back up on what is good about Star Wars versus just, give them whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think too with the night, maybe if they changed them annually, and I still think the price is wrong. I don't think that price point works. And I think they're going to find that. So it kind of makes me happy that people aren't paying for it because I think that's the only way to get it to stop. But I also think like maybe changing them, or like I know they do Pride, and like that I could see more as a night and like a popular night because you're appealing to people who are like celebrating something that they care about or like wanting to be seen.
Right.
And like that, I think maybe there's more value in that than like even Sweetheart's night. Okay, well, the parks have tons of Valentine treats out and stuff for everybody else who's going. There's not a value.
No.
Well, the other part of it will be the amount. So for Disney, who loves to do artificial scarcity, and then you look at it, 8 days.
Yeah.
I mean, Star Wars fan over here, but even me, I'm like, 8? Really? Like maybe cut that in half and cut it in half, drop the price. Create a real scarcity, and then you'll see how it goes.
Right.
Yeah.
Even I think if they made the price lower than a one-day ticket, like significantly lower, and then you had a draw of people waiting in the queue, like if I knew that Sweetheart's night, it was like $80 to go in or something, $50, I would be waiting in that queue however long to try to get a ticket. It would add a draw, and I'm going to spend a lot of money on other stuff once I'm in there.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
So I don't think you're really going to lose.
And to me, this is where I go back to it. I would love to see the metrics that they're working with. I want to see them because I'm curious because we look at what they're doing, and for us, we're like, that doesn't make any sense. And so I am like, what book are they reading to make them make that call? Mm-hmm. And they're not going to share that. I mean, that is a trade secret type thing, right? And I get that, but at the other end, I'm like, what do you have that I don't? What are you seeing that I'm not that makes you continue to go there? Is it incompetence, laziness, or do you have, and I'm air quoting, more information than I do, and then we do, and then clearly you do, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. So my whole point is like, maybe you need to get out of the algorithm or whatever metrics you're using, and go to the ground and go start talking to people, because the only way that any of this changes, and we've been saying it for a while, is that if people who aren't satisfied with it don't buy it. You decide with your wallet. You vote with your wallet. This is why I haven't been in the park in almost 2 years now, because I've been like, no, you're not Disney. I love you. I love the park. I love everything about that. But Disney corporate to me is like, guys, I can't support you with my money right now. I can't. It is turning around, and I always want to be positive about it because I think it's important. But it is turning around, and I'm getting to a point where I'm like, I'm going back. It's probably going to be this year. Knock on wood. But yeah, because they need to do that, and they need to realize that the vast majority of the people that are their hardcore fans, their real ones, are a lot of them they've been shedding them.
Yeah.
So I mean, we see it out here, in the wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see it while we're hanging out in the dregs of society who can't afford club level suites.
One on the VIP suite. Yeah.
No. Which leads us to the last.
Proletariat.
What?
We're the bourgeoisie out here.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay, it leads us to the last part, which kind of ironically echoes to what we was talking about. And this came from the OC Register. We could read the small. It's a small article, but it's Disneyland needs an advocate in its new president. Disneyland is getting a new leader, but will that make any difference for the Disneyland fans? Disney announced last week that Thomas Malzoom will take over as the next president of Disneyland Resort. Malzoom currently works as Disney's president for the new experiences portfolio and Disney Signature Experiences. This puts him in charge of the Disney Cruise Lines, Disney Vacation Club, and Story Living by Disney, which is developing the Catino real estate project out in Rancho Mirage.
I know.
Malzoom will replace Ken Patrak, who is moving on to a new position under major events integration at Disney. That means nothing to me. Failing upwards. Okay. There's some other stuff in there. But the key to success in running Disneyland remains as it has been since Disney legend Jack Lindquist originated the job as park president, to be an advocate for Disneyland. Mm-hmm. There's a strong argument to be made that the Walt Disney Company would not have survived until today if were it not for Disneyland. The park established Disney's theme park business, which has carried the company during many years when its studio failed. Southern California is the entertainment capital of the world and Disney's corporate home. But it is Disneyland that defines the Walt Disney Company for millions of people in the region. And that's an absolute truth.
100% facts.
Spitting out facts. Yeah. Disneyland is the company's golden egg-laying goose. Yet, with Wall Street demanding ever-growing profits from publicly traded companies, someone needs to defend Disneyland from short-sighted analysts who would be happy to trade Disney's future for a tasty goose dinner. This does not mean that Disney should run the Disneyland Resort as some sort of nonprofit charity. Far from it. Disney enjoys its greatest commercial success when it is run by people who advocate for taking chances on big new ideas, who advocate for innovation and creativity, who advocate for recruiting, paying, and retaining people to make that happen, from cast members in the parks to the designers of the Walt Disney Imagineering in Glendale. Disneyland stumbles when leaders think small and look for ways to streamline and optimize. That's quote. In quotes. It also fails when leaders grow afraid of making changes that might upset fans now, but fans will love once they see those plans come to life. This all might seem risky, but leadership is not gambling. It's judgment. It's finding and advocating for people with the vision and skills to make Disneyland better. If Thomas Malzoom can do that, then Disneyland's future should be as successful as the first 70 years have been. Yeah, I don't disagree with what he's saying.
I'll let you guys go first because I got plenty to say.
I
Warning you now.
Okay, Becky, how about you go first?
Okay. Well, I agree. I think that it is something that is needed as well. I hope that that's the direction we're going. There was a part, oh gosh, let me get to it. Well, when it talked about, of course, you don't want to run it like a nonprofit, but advocate for recruiting, paying, and retaining people to make that happen. That line really, really stuck out to me. And I think it kind of goes back to even something we talked about at the beginning of the conversation when we were saying actually people thanking their employees or people who work for them and really feeling that thanks as an employee and, financially to be able to live as well. So yeah, that's what I have right now.
Yeah, I like that. The one part that I didn't really like is when they said leaders, there are leaders that aren't afraid to make changes that might upset fans now, but that they think fans will come to love once they see those plans come to life. I don't always agree with that. I'm for change if it advances technology or advances the story.
Yeah.
Or we are, we have some brand new technology that we can incorporate to this, beloved attraction, or we make a brand new attraction based on that. But some of the changes they've made, they're not going to win me over with what they did because I just think they're wrong.
Well, I think that some of the changes they've made could even be arguably that you have somebody who was afraid not to make changes because fans would get mad, or not even fans, that people would get mad. I would say not fans.
That's a very good point, Becky. Yeah, that also rings true. They would maybe feel pressured to do something when in fact they really didn't want to.
Right.
Yeah. So if Disney sat idle on some things, and they probably should have, because Disneyland is a non-entity, it doesn't have an opinion, but they're making it have an opinion on certain things, which bothers me. But no, you're right. They feel compelled to do something other than going, you know what, we're not playing that game. This is what we are. This is what we do. You guys can, take it outside or something like that. But I do like the fact that the author of this article is advocating for Disneyland. Hey, don't take us for granted, because if it wasn't for us, company would have fallen. And I believe that.
Yes.
I absolutely believe that. It's what Disneyland represents to people. I can't even I don't even really I can't put it into words. People do.
No.
We do podcasts over it, and it means a lot to a lot of people. So they need to take care of that. Udi, I'm sure you've got something to say.
I do, but okay, hold on. Let me bring that article back. I want to. Okay. Okay. Ready? Whenever.
Sure.
Okay. Now, the one thing that I appreciate about this article is what you kind of said, Mark, that but the author is correct. And do you know who the author is? I want to give credit to whoever that is.
I'll find it for you.
Okay. Because, Disney does need an advocate. Disneyland does need an advocate. He surmised what we've been barking about. Me, Mark, everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of us have been barking about the park and with Disney corporate in general, that they have been short-sighted and they have not been thinking about the overall well-being about the company for the longevity. I think I even said that last episode, maybe the one before, that right now, everything that Disneyland has been doing has been a short-sighted vision for a money grab, and we can feel it. And if you want to argue with me that, no, that isn't what is true, I'm like, I got to bridge this out, because if you look at it, they have been. Because they haven't had somebody in the appropriate position to argue against Bob Iger. Even Bob Chapek. Now, we all know that we're going to argue about Iger and Chapek. I'm not even going to go there. Chapek was a huge proponent of doing this stuff to streamline, blah, 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 blah. There is a balance that needs to be taken, but he's dead on accurate about the fact that worry about nickels and pennies when you're stepping over dollars to pick up a dime is what we're at with the park. So yes,
Robert Niles.
Robert Niles. Shout out Robert Niles from the OC Register.
Yep, Orange County.
On point, my friend, on point. Because without Disneyland and without the park, and I just said it earlier, this company doesn't exist. This company is gone the way of the dinosaurs by now. And right now, we have watched epic failure after epic failure after epic failure from almost every other part of Disney
Yeah.
corporate. The movie studios, every single one of them, until Inside Out 2, Moana 2, and what was the other movie that came? And Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Until those came out, you can look at the wasteland, and then let's not talk about Disney Plus. Okay?
Right.
The utter wasteland that they have been. And I know that may sound harsh to some, but it is the reality of it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. Lucasfilm, Pixar, Disney Animation, Fox, everything has been a dumpster fire. An utter dumpster fire. And and if you want to look at it like subjectively and unpassionately, even though I'm being kind of passionate, but it is really true. When you can look at it and go, where have the winds been? Where have the winds been? And then let's go back to the park. Let's go back to the parks. The only win that they have had with anything that customer relations has been the cruise lines. Okay?
Yeah.
Everything else, hence why they're pouring millions and millions of dollars into that, because it's been returning. Then where have they gone with the majority of the upgrades for the park? Overseas parks. Why? Because the philosophy of Iger has always been bigger, 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 international. They wanted to make Disney. He's wanted to make Disneyland or Disney Corporate an international company. Okay? That isn't what the company began. That isn't how it began. It wasn't for that. So as we move on, Disneyland and every local park, domestic park, needs a proper steward to sit there and look at whoever is in charge of the company in the moment and go, no. And throw your hand up and go, no, that isn't going to work. They cannot be afraid of standing in the breach, okay? So they need to look at the park and be able to argue their point and be unafraid of the argument. So, like you were saying, we can argue that certain things have happened in the park out of fear, okay? A lot of the thing that leadership has done, as we've seen, has been reactive and afraid of, I don't want to offend that person.
Right.
What if they get mad at me? What if they get mad at me? And I always say this thing because I've had to do it in my own personal life at work. Well, what if they get mad? And I literally say, I don't care. So at the end of the day, Disneyland, Walt Disney World, and the Walt Disney Company needs proper stewards. And everybody who's in there right now aren't it. So I have been saying it for a while. Bob Iger needs to go.
Well, he's going to go next year.
Yeah. He needs to go. And what I mean by that, he may be out, but he's going to try to do what he did with Chapek.
Oh, yeah.
Stick around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So this is when I'm going to say the failure of certain things that Disney has been doing, as much as it sucks to see, needs to happen. And what I mean by that is Star Wars nights.
Yeah.
They need to not sell out. The park attendance needs to drop.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to go like, what do you mean? Because the only way you're going to send a message to Disneyland right now and Disney Corporate is to tell them that money train that you've been living on,
Yeah.
we're kicking you off.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And until they get that message clear, they're going to continue because they think, oh, they'll just take it. Oh, they'll just take it. But I think the change is in the air, though. I still feel that. And I still feel, because right now I think the message is being sent to Disney Corporate that money train is over. And give it a couple years, and I feel like, well, I'll put it this way. I feel optimistic. I feel white-pilled to it, and I feel that the right people, it's going to depend on making sure that the right people get into those positions. Mainly the CEO. Bob Iger has to go. He should have never come back. That guy should be in his billion-dollar mansion on his yacht, whatever, and be away from this company. He needs to be gone.
Yeah.
But we also need the right person in. And then we need to clean house, Lucasfilm, Pixar. Yeah, all that needs to get cleaned out because all of it is a failure. An abject failure, and it's factual.
Right.
Look at it.
Glad you had some sort of opinion on that, Udi.
I never do, though. That one just, I was thinking about that for a good month.
Oh, you were? No. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, let's just put a pin in that for now and end the news, and let's go on because people want to people want to hear what Jay has to say about Lunar New Year and stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about the foods.
Yeah, me too. And see what he has got to say. And yeah, I always look forward to having him on the show with this stuff. Okay, well,
yep.
For that, let's go to the feature presentation.
Are you listening to this episode and planning your next Disneyland getaway? Of course you are. You're a member of the LTP. Well, don't worry about your stay. We've got you covered. Check out our good friends at the Eden Rock Hotel. You can visit their website at EdenRockAnaheim.com and enter the code EdenMagic for 30% off your stay. That's EdenMagic. Now go back to planning the stuff that really matters. And yes, a churro is acceptable for breakfast.
Hey, LTP family, welcome to our feature presentation. Today we are joined by our special friend. I'd like to say he's a guest, but he's not really a guest. He is part of the LTP family for sure. This guy comes on whenever there's a new food festival, whenever there's a new restaurant that needs to be tried or a new food option. This person is the go-to guy to talk about it because he's got a wealth of information about this stuff. This is our good friend, Jay Bratton. Hey, Jay.
Hey, guys. How are you?
We're doing fairly decent today. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I went to the Lunar New Year festival for my wife's birthday, and we tried a bunch of different foods. We also checked out that new place, the Wonderful World of Sweets. It used to be Marceline's Confectionery, and they've definitely expanded the operation there. It's kind of cool, actually. Besides the candy apples, they're also making popcorn in the front, caramel popcorn.
Oh, yeah.
I bet that smells so good.
It does smell good. And I took a picture of the little kitchen there. It's about I'd say when you guys are looking at the photos, it's like the 8th picture, right after the popcorn bucket picture.
Yeah.
So that's all they're doing is making popcorn all day long. So they're making it fresh.
Okay.
We bought some. Even though they make it all day long, it doesn't mean they made it very well. So unfortunately,
okay.
I conceptually I see where they're going with it. It's like the Werther's caramel corn and the Germany Pavilion at Epcot.
Right.
And the problem is they didn't. Like all the ingredients were there. It just unfortunately wasn't executed very well.
Okay.
So hopefully a different set of crew will work on it and make it better, but good flavor. It is like very similar to the Werther's in Germany. It's almost granular. Like I think that maybe the sugar wasn't melted properly or something along those lines.
I got you. Yeah. Yeah, when you don't melt it right, it has more, just like you said, granular. It has more of a texture to it than it should, right?
Kind of sandy.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
And Jay, just real quick, I remember like years and years ago, you were on the Diz Geek podcast, and you were talking about buying candy from the off of Main Street and asking them if you could get like a freshly made one. Right. Is this something? Because I see that are stuff on the sales floor, but I also see bags that looks like they're just being done right there. Is this something that you could ask them? Hey, can I have one of those fresh bags?
We did ask, and they said that it's kind of out of the picture, but to the left, there's like 3 different little columns of popcorn, right?
Yeah.
And the cast member had told us that they had literally just put fresh bags on the left, far left one.
Okay.
So, anyways, we grabbed it, and yeah, it was warm, so it was good.
Good. Okay.
I mean, it was good, relatively speaking, to like not fresh. So.
Yeah.
Is that a pro tip you ask, or do you think that actually makes a difference in this case?
Well, there's they're just
maybe
ask
that's
them which one is the freshest. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And then that way you can which find out which of the 3 columns is had been recently stocked.
Okay.
Like I said, they're making it all day long. It is a little bit expensive, $9, but that's all right. It was a nice treat, and
Sure.
like I say, I'll try it again. Hopefully, it'll be better next time.
Okay.
So.
Nice.
Anyhow, and then we also checked. We didn't go to the restaurant, but we walked by that place that the new the Soul Sister and
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, bro. $18 for a chicken sandwich?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about.
That's a hard no.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that, Jay. What are you? I mean, seriously, what's going on with the price model there?
I have no clue, man. They are. I don't know. Somebody was smoking something that day when they were setting the prices. I just don't know what to say because, I mean, even I think the fries are like $6 or $8 or something like that, and it's ridiculous. And I mean, I understand that the guy who created the restaurants has like some, really, like a resume, high end resume. I'm not sure Michelin starred or not, but regardless, I mean, I just can't see, like I said, sometimes I'll spend money for the quality food, but on chicken sandwiches, that's hard no.
Yeah, well,
I agree.
yeah.
That wouldn't be the item that I'm going to spend a lot of money on.
Right, exactly.
And it's fast casual too, so not like you're gonna sit down
exactly.
and like have the whole.
If you're inside a restaurant, you know what I mean, and it's upscale or whatever, and this is like they had some kind of special, touch to it, I could see, but this, I mean, it is a unique twist on the standard chicken sandwiches you get at like Popeyes or whatever, but still at the same time, it just I just can't see myself paying for that high price for a chicken sandwich. So
no, not Jay approved at the Parkside Market.
It's all good, man. But speaking of food or Asian food, because it is Soul Sisters, it's Korean. At the Lunar New Year market festival marketplaces, we checked out a bunch of different dishes. You guys can see through the pictures I sent on the link. So the first place we went to was the Lucky 8 Tavern or Lantern, excuse me.
Yeah, just real quick, Jay. So when you go to this festival, are you and your wife like 2 or 3 days before? Are you looking online to see what you want to get, or are you guys just to be surprised?
Right. No, we planned. We print out the menu. We watch videos for people because those vloggers. They're like there on day one, and then they try it, and then there's certain vloggers that I trust more than others.
Sure.
Right.
Some of them I'm just like, your taste buds are wrong. So, anyways, but I mean, what it is that some of these guys are the chicken tender crowd. You know what I'm saying? That's all they get when they go to the parks or whatever. And then when they try to adventure out, they're like, "Oh no, this is not good." And I'm just like, "Dude, yes, it is." So,
yeah.
But anyhow, So we do plan ahead, and we try to be judicious in terms of the dollar amounts because the pass, the Sip and Savor pass is for non member, non pass holder member, magic key holders.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's $48, and then you get a $3 discount if you are a pass, a magic key holder. So
sure.
I'm always gonna think in my head pass holder.
Well, no, I never say magic key holder. You're good.
Yeah,
I always
AP.
say
I just say AP
key holder. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow, so what that works out to is so it's about $8 for if you're doing the non pass holder thing, and then $7.75 or whatever if you're a pass holder.
Okay.
Or $7.50, something like that. I don't have a calculator in front of me, but anyways, regardless, so $8, and then you're gonna make, make up for it, like the value of it, by getting the higher priced items. So one of the first booths we went to was the Lucky 8 Tavern. Lantern, excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the first item you see in the picture, it's the quesadilla egg roll with the guajillo pepper consomme.
Oh.
And this one, they brought this back, but a different variation. and it's good. This one is a winner. $9.50 normally, so you're saving $1.50 or so, and the crispy outside, it was wonderful. The inside is a nice balance of meat and cheese. And then the only thing, though, is the guajillo pepper consomme. Not sure what the deal with that is. It kind of tasted a little off. I'm not.
In
it
what
didn't
way?
really. It was thicker than a normal consomme, and it's like I think they were trying to make it like Asian inspired or something along those lines, but it really didn't work too well.
Gotcha.
I mean,
how did it
they
match?
should just stuck with just a standard, consomme.
Did the flavors match very well with the birria, or was that no?
No, that's why I was like, I wanted to like it, but unfortunately, it just there's something funky like off about that consomme. It's not a traditional consomme, like I said,
Right.
And somebody added maybe one too many ingredients or something like that in the sauce, but
overall,
it's still worth it to me because it's just a slight variation on my taste buds, but other people will like it, and the main component, the egg roll itself, is really good. I would suggest adding it to your list if you're going to be going to the festival.
Okay.
Now, and the birria flavor, they actually did that well?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
good.
Very good. It's right. It tastes like the one at Cochina Cucamonga. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, right. It's similar. It has a very deep flavor to it.
Good. I'm gonna Mark. Next time my mom makes it, I'm gonna bring you some.
Oh, she makes that egg roll?
No, birria.
Oh, for sure.
Birria
Yeah.
in general.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I would love that. I didn't know she made that.
Yeah, my mom makes a lot of stuff, man.
Oh, we'll bring it this way.
Yeah, well, next time.
Okay.
It takes a while. I made it with her. It takes a minute.
Okay.
So it is. Yeah.
So, also at this booth, we got the dessert chocolate firecracker.
Yeah.
So that's light chocolate mousse with the chocolate ganache filling, chocolate almond daqua, and popping candy on top. And I guess the special thing is that they're featuring Dove chocolate, so you know, it's better than just whatever generic chocolate, right? So
Sure.
It has a deeper flavor to it, and
Okay.
it's a little smoother and creamier. This one is this was the best dessert at the festival.
Dude,
it was awesome.
It
was,
looks amazing.
Really,
Yeah.
yeah. It. My wife said it reminded her totally of like the Darth by chocolate over there at
Galactic Grill?
huh?
The one that's
Galactic Grill, correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. But there's one component was missing, but I forgot which component she said. I don't remember. Like, anyways, if you had Darth by chocolate, if you like Darth by chocolate, then this is up your alley. It's definitely, like I said, the best dessert we had at the festival. So if you have the opportunity, add it to your list. This one was only $7.50, so you'd want to pay cash for this one.
Right.
Or cash card, whatever.
Yeah.
Just pay for it separately.
Yeah.
Anyhow, what was kind of cool is the popping candy on top, because it's supposed to be a firecracker. So that was a nice little touch. It was like it was fun, and it was a nice little surprise. Then we went to the next booth. It's Red Dragon Spice Trader. This one I was looking forward to. It was the fire chicken wings with the sesame seaweed crunch.
Oh.
It
sounds good.
Yeah, it was $9. So this is as far as a value proposition, this is a good value. However, I was pretty disappointed with it. First of all, so if you're sensitive to spice, I'd say avoid this for sure, because on my heat scale, it's about a 4 out of 10.
Oh.
It's too spicy for my wife. And so but if you like spicy food, then you'll be able to handle it just fine. The only problem is that it's the exterior breading that was just like really off-putting. It was like almost mushy, and I was hoping like crispy, and then you add sauce to it, and then that way you get all the flavors and the textures and everything combined wonderfully. But this is like they just stick it into like a heater or warming oven or whatever, and then they just serve it as they go. I wish they would have the chicken separate, and then as they serve it, they just pour sauce on top of it. That way, the thing wouldn't be all mushy like that. So that was kind of a bummer. But whatever. I still ate it because I'm not going to waste $9.
Was this dish new to this year's Lunar New Year, or has this been?
Yes,
okay,
it was.
Okay,
correct.
And I was going to ask you, so it basically whenever you get breaded anything like that and it's mushy, it's because it's been sitting. It's not fresh coming out, or it's been sitting in the sauce for too long.
Oh,
that's always been my experience. Like if you're going to have something that's breaded and deep fried or whatever, if it sits for too long, then you get that mushy kind of texture, right? So, that's kind of a bummer. That's why I was kind of like, as soon as you said it was mushy, I'm like, so it sat for too long before they actually probably put it all together to serve, which is a bummer. Mm-hmm. But spice, you're 4 out of 10. See, I'm trying to gauge my spice scale versus yours.
Oh,
so I don't know.
You have a high spice scale.
Oh, okay, then we're gonna have to put that to the test one day.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you ever put the bomb hot sauce on any of your stuff?
I've never had it. I've never tried it.
Okay,
so I wouldn't know.
Then
yeah,
we'll try it.
Yeah, I will.
I've never tried it, but I like sriracha.
No.
Yeah, that's a different classification.
It doesn't count. It doesn't count. Sorry.
Have fun, guys. Have fun with that.
That's a flavor thing, not a spice thing.
There is a heat to sriracha, so this is spicier than sriracha. So, I guess I should describe the heat scale. I would say it's hotter than sriracha. Definitely hotter than like Cholula sauce or Tabasco, the standard Tabasco. Yeah. But Tabasco also makes a scorpion sauce, which is scorpion peppers.
Yeah.
I'd say it's about a notch below that. So.
Okay.
Anyways,
I know where you're at because I've had that one.
Tried that.
I have tried that one. Okay.
Okay.
And for comparison, just real quick. So the scorpion one, what does that fall on your scale from 1 to 10 on heat?
I'd say that's about a 5.
Okay. Then we're good. Okay. Then I think we're about the same, you and I. Okay.
That's probably like a 12 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, Mark is like, Mark's head is starting to smoke just at the thought of it.
I need some ice water just talking about it, or milk or
He's
something.
sweating over here right now.
Yeah, I'm sweating. All right. Well, speaking of something to cool you down, our next item is...
Yes, the next one is from Longevity Noodle Company. It's the Tropical Coconut Cooler. It has coconut cream, coconut milk, house-made jackfruit syrup, dragon fruit syrup, lychee nectar, and cherry juices garnished with mango coconut foam and rainbow jellies. That's a mouthful.
It is, yeah.
This one actually, my wife is the mocktail queen, you know what I mean? And she really loved this. So I tried it. It was good. I liked it as well. It was a nice, refreshing beverage. It was fruity, creamy. I really enjoyed it a lot, and you can, detect the coconut in there, unlike that other one that drink I had during the other festival. Anyhow, it's this is a highly recommend for sure, and this one I didn't write down the price, but I think it was $7.50. So this is another one you just buy separately.
Okay.
The next item is from Wrapped with Love booth. And that is I did them out of order. I should have put the pho sandwich first and the dessert after, but it doesn't matter. We're just going with the flow here.
Sure.
So it's the Mandarin Orange Cream Puff, and that's filled with citrus cream and mandarin compote.
Oh.
Yeah, this was okay. I mean, it was... I don't know, man. I think that this is something that you have to eat fresh, because we took it home, and then I tried to warm it just a touch, just to get it a crispy exterior, but unfortunately it didn't work out too well, and I didn't want to heat it up too much because it's a cream puff.
Yeah.
And so anyhow, as far as the flavors are concerned, it's decent. If you're into cream puffs and you like orange flavoring, it's not an artificial orange flavor, so that's good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and it's worthwhile, but again, if you're gonna get it, definitely eat it there at the festival, just like right away. And also from that booth is the well, they call it a pho dip with rice noodles, sliced beef, shaved jalapeno, pickled onion, and pho broth.
This thing looks. I would absolutely try this.
Okay, so
But he's saying don't.
Except for the jalapenos for Mark.
No, remember back in the day, this is old Wendy's commercial where the old lady says, "Where's the beef?" Yeah. This is a case of that me screaming, "Where's the beef?" Because that little strip of meat right there, that's all that was in that sandwich.
Wow.
And I was kind of upset because we took this home, and I just deconstructed it or whatever, and then I put it back together, and I toasted it. Now, one of the complaints that people have about the sandwich at the festival is that the bread is a bit like cold and soft.
Right.
I mean, cold and a little bit hard.
Yep.
But I heated it up. I toasted it, so the bread turned out well. Now, as far as the flavors are concerned, it was a good sandwich. It just, man, I really felt ripped off, for the price that we paid.
Yeah.
It was, $9.50. I mean, even though, we got the discount or whatever, still, I mean, for the price we paid, dude, I mean, I was hoping more meat would be included in there.
Yeah.
And also, they said there's pickled onion, but you see that red slice there?
That's it, huh?
That was it. That was all the onion that was there.
Oh.
And I was kind of like upset about that too, because it's just like, onions are cheap. Just, throw a little extra on there or something.
Yeah, it looks like it went crazy with the rice noodle, though.
Yeah, the rice noodle, that's basically a filler.
Yeah.
It makes the sandwich look bigger.
Yeah.
Texturally, it didn't add or take away, and rice noodles are a bit on the neutral side, so it didn't really add any flavor to it. But it was nice. I mean, it was like kind of like a bowl of pho. I just got the beef broth or whatever, and conceptually I like it. Like I said, just the only thing that was missing was more meat and more onions.
Right.
And like I said, I watched other watch videos and things like that, and it's weird that like some people, it's like hit and miss. Sometimes people get a lot of meat, and then some people get only a little bit, like we did. And
Right.
so it's just there's some consistency problems there, and I'm not sure what's going on, but whatever. It is what it is.
How was the broth?
The broth was good. It was standard. I mean, it's like a pho broth. I mean, maybe not as good as your local, pho place, but it was, it felt a little more watered down. I think that could have been the beef and the salt level could have been a little more robust. And unfortunately, it wasn't.
See, I'm wondering if a lot of it has to do with the consistency issues are with staffing, I always feel like. Like they're not trained right, they're not given the right guidance, and they're not really like held to account. Or I know in a restaurant, it's infinitely more controlled atmosphere than these little booths on the side. So I'm always curious about that, especially when you hear reports about like this was really good, and you see pictures like, well, mine was nothing like that, and I'm always go like, I wonder where the problem, is right there. Just makes me think. Maybe because my head's into staffing right now, so that's why.
Well, I know they prep everything off-site, and then they just kind of roll a cart with the pre-made food. Sometimes they have them like, partially deconstructed or whatever, where they put the sauce or some other ingredients on top, put together a couple of things, but they don't want to make it look overly complex.
Right.
For the people who are taking orders at the booths, they just want to be, fast and efficient. And I understand. I mean, this is not a traditional restaurant or a traditional, type of establishment, food establishment. So you got to make it quick and simple. And even then, I mean, there's still lines of people waiting to get food. So they try to make it quick and efficient, but sometimes when you do that, you lose quality.
Yeah.
All right.
And the next place. Oh, so we kind of went off script a little bit. We went to Aunt Cass's Cafe, and because they had a dessert that's a limited time for the Lunar New Year, but it's not included in the Sip and Savor Pass. It's the almond cookie bread pudding.
Oh.
And so it's almond bread pudding with a gooey almond center.
Oh, jeez.
Mandarin orange creme anglaise, whipped topping, toasted almonds, and an almond cookie on top.
Please tell me this was good.
It is good.
Oh.
This one is good, but not as good as the firecracker. But
Okay.
I'd say this is the second best dessert, and it's just like the almond cookie, man. It's
Yeah.
just like if you ever had an almond cookie.
Yeah.
before,
I love
you're
them.
yeah,
I love
this is then if you love them, then this definitely. Hopefully, they'll keep it on menu permanently.
Yeah.
But they
Holy
tend to
crap.
rotate their bread puddings. We'll see.
That looks so good.
but-
I could
yeah,
imagine cutting into it and
Yep.
having the bread put. Oh man. Okay, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
So and then the top the cream whipped cream topping tasted like Cool Whip. Basically, the almond slivers were nice. I wish they would have been toasted because they tasted like the raw almonds instead of like the ones that have been toasted or whatever.
Right.
And then as far as like we ate a little bit and then we put the rest away. I ditched the almonds and the whipped cream because we just ate it. I should say I didn't ditch it. We ate it there and then just took home the rest of the bread pudding and
Gotcha.
then we'll heat it up later because you can always add those little ingredients later.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's
so anyway,
great.
so it was good, nice, fresh. It was filling. But we had to be judicious about the amount of food that we're going to consume.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we forgot, we kind of overlooked one place, which was Bamboo Blessings. They had a mini char siu pork shank with rice and pineapple chutney, and it was for $9.25.
And this looks really good to me, honestly.
Right.
Yeah, me too.
Conceptually, I saw the ingredients and I was like, man, I'm looking forward to this. And in fact, other vloggers had said, they liked it a lot. But personally, myself, I thought it was way too sweet. My wife agreed with me. I think that, like a regular char siu has like some more, it's more savory. It's not as sweet. And there's not as much sauce. Like this is kind of like almost gelatinous. It's like it was really thick. Like I guess more of like a jam or jelly type consistency. And the pineapple really texturally it really didn't work well with the meats and so forth. So that was kind of a bummer. And then surprisingly, it was kind of spicy. It's like on the heat scale, I'd say maybe 2 or 3 out of 10. And in fact, my wife thought it was too spicy.
Jeez.
So I didn't think it was spicy, honestly, myself. But then again, I mean, I'm going by her. She, she's more sensitive to heat than I am.
Yep.
Okay.
And anyhow, so it's probably on the spice scale of maybe is the sriracha sauce. So if you can handle sriracha sauce, then this will be fine for you. And if you don't mind a little extra sweetness, then it's okay. I mean, the meat's pretty good.
Okay.
It was not terrible. The the flavor of the meat without all that sweet element was pretty good.
So do you think it would have been? Do you think maybe you just caught like a portion of the big batch that you caught the sweeter part? Or do you think it was kind of like too much, like in general?
Yeah, that's what I did. I scraped off all the chutney.
Right, and then you just went with that. Okay.
Yeah, and then the problem is that because it's laying on top of the rice, and the rice kind of ruined. So, but whatever, it's all good. It was an experience. I again, I wouldn't get it myself personally, but other people enjoy it. So it's one of those things that it may be for you, but it's not for me. Right.
Well, thanks for taking one for the team, Jay.
Yeah.
Of course.
We appreciate it.
Well, we try to experiment with as many foods as we can.
Sure.
But there's certain things I know for certain that we wouldn't get. At the Longevity Noodle Company, they have like the garlic noodles with the zesty garlic butter sauce and Parmesan cheese. I mean, what? Like, why would I get that?
I would. I'm not gonna lie. I would.
Why, to me, it's like that's so simple. I mean, you just boil up some spaghetti and just mix with some butter and garlic yourself.
I do that.
I mean,
I do that.
no,
though.
that's cool. I mean, that's good, but there's nothing. But you're going to food festival. What I mean? You're not. Things that you can make every day yourself. I can't make pork char siu like that. I mean, I don't have the. I mean, I could, but I'm not gonna sit there and buy all the various elements, all the various ingredients, and then I'll have leftover ingredients because you're not going to use all the
Right.
all the chutney stuff and the pork shanks, you don't buy, you can buy a few of them, I guess, but it's just, I don't know, man. And then you got to go through the whole process of putting it together and everything like that. So that's why it's like when I see something like those, like the garlic noodles, I'm like, dude, I mean, that's just too simple. That's something you can make real easily. So I want something that I can not make easily myself.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And it's kind of the time to experiment and go outside your comfort zone because you're at a festival. It's a smaller portion. It's special.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And so anyhow, so that's pretty much it. Overall, the food quality was better than the festival holidays.
Okay.
And so, a lot of people, I guess, complained that the festival holidays, their food selections weren't great and that the quality level was not as good.
Right.
And I agree. And so I'm glad that they're, stepping it up more. And hopefully they'll continue going in that direction for the Food and Wine Festival that's going to be coming up pretty soon.
Yes, and we will have you on back for that because we need a full review of that stuff too.
All right.
Yeah. Was there any special merchandise that you guys bought there? I remember your wife was telling me about that special Korean pass that you could get.
Right. Oh, yeah. Speaking of the pass, we did get it. It's the Korean one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They also have one that's Chinese, and another one that is Vietnamese.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's kind of odd selection of. So this one is Mickey and Minnie, and then let me look at the picture here. The other pass, so Goofy and Clarabelle are the Chinese. No, they're the Vietnamese characters.
Okay.
And then the Donald Duck and Daisy are the Chinese characters.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
Wow.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. Did you get your choice then, or did they just have?
Yes, you can ask for whichever one you want.
Okay, cool. Excellent.
It's a nice collector's item. I mean, it's better than, just the standard pass or whatever, and kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure.
And we also got a tumbler. Just got one, so you can see Goofy's here with his Vietnamese. I don't know what they call their thing. The Koreans call their formal dress a hanbok.
Okay.
And anyways, I don't know what they call it for Vietnam. And then let's see here.
I like the colors.
Donald, yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, yeah. Very cool. I like that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And then Mickey, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Great. I'm a fan of the tumblers. I think they're great. Yeah.
I have too many, but
yeah, I have too many. But if I see one that I would get, I'd probably have to add to my collection.
No, but I love when they infuse culture into the park and everything.
For sure.
It's one of the greatest things they can do. Yeah.
We only have literally like a couple minutes left with Jay because he's got stuff to do. But just real quick, Jay, we talked about in our news segment, we talked about Napa Rose getting a expansion and stuff. Did you hear about that?
Yes, I heard about that. It's interesting.
And I kind of want to get your thoughts on that because I know that's one of those restaurants that you've mentioned before, and that you've liked, and it's a whole different class of restaurants at the park. And I just kind of want to know what your thoughts are about the new expansion, the new design, and they're going to allow you to look into the kitchen more, which I think is great. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of weird because the kitchen is already open, so I don't know what they mean by that.
Okay.
I think that what they're saying is that they're expanding the chef's table.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
The chef's counter, I should say, because you're just sitting at the counter. And we did that experience before. I'll be honest, man, it's not worth it.
Oh, really?
Oh,
shoot.
Also, I was kind of, who's the,
the chef?
Keller, Andrew
Sutton.
Andrew Sutton, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you, but I got pissed off at him because I was
not surprised.
I was bigger than I am now. I would say about maybe probably about 25, 30 pounds heavier than I am now.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went there, and he was talking to us about like our food, allergies and so forth. And then he was talking about like the kitchen, and He's like, yeah, I'm not sure if he'd fit behind this counter, behind this the stove or whatever. I was like, what? I was like, dude,
Seriously?
I was like, man, you know that. I was just, I really. That's why I was like, man,
What?
dude, I mean, how insulting can you be to a customer, you know?
Oh.
And it just, whatever.
I
I mean, I don't know if he had a stressful day that day or whatever, but I lost all respect for him at that point.
Yeah.
And the food itself was basically the same stuff that you get at the, at the table or whatever. And, and it's not even comfortable because you're sitting at a counter. It's like, going to a diner or whatever. So you're watching them cook all the food or whatever, and you're interacting with the chefs as they serve it to you, but it's just like, so what? I mean, I forgot how much it was, but it was a higher price than normal table setting. So anyways, yeah, if you go ask for a server named Mickey, a Japanese guy, and so he always, it's funny, whenever he serves us, he's like, "Hi, I'm Mickey," like Mickey Mouse. He uses that same line every time we get served by him. So,
but like right now, they don't have like outdoor seating, right? Is that always indoor there?
I think that there's a small patio. I thought there was a small patio out there. Maybe not.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've never been in there.
We always eat inside, or we another thing you could do also is eat in the bar area.
Okay.
And that's kind of nice as well. It's not as noisy. It's more intimate in there, and because sometimes when you get into the main dining room, people got their kids and they're running around and they're amped up on sugar or whatever, and they're just running amok, and so it gets a little bit like uncomfortable. It's not normal, but there are kids who get a bit loud in there, and so in the bar area, you have to be 21, right, to sit at the bar. So so it's all basically adults in that area, and also the tables are more intimate as well.
Yeah.
So that's a pro tip if you ever want to go just for a romantic evening, sit in the bar area instead of the main dining room.
Okay.
Cool.
That's good to know.
Is the bar seating is that first come first serve? You have to make reservations for that as well.
Well, no, you have to. Well, it's a good idea to make reservations, but you can't ask in the reservations for the bar area. You just have to ask when you get there.
Gotcha.
At the check-in counter or whatever.
Okay.
As far as like, it's a availability thing. So if there's tables available, and usually there are, because most people, they just sit there for a little bit waiting for their table, and then they go into the main dining room.
Yeah.
So we've never had an issue with finding a place to sit down. In fact, I saw we met Joe Rohde there.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he was with some Disney executive, and he was they were just like discussing something or whatever. And anyways, so we got to get a picture with him.
Oh, cool.
So it's kind of cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
Excellent.
All right. Well, sorry to wrap it up, guys, but I got to get going here. Work is calling.
Yep.
So I gotta answer the call.
Okay. Well, again,
Nice to talk to you.
yeah. Thanks again
nice
for
talking to you guys as well.
Yeah, thanks for dropping in, Jay. I look forward to seeing you in person again, you and your wife, and we'll have you on the show once you. Well, actually, whenever you want to come on, honestly. But Food and Wine.
We're going in March. I don't know the exact date.
Okay.
So we're going to try to hit the festival, like the earlier part of it, I should say.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Okay, awesome, man. Hey, LTP listeners, if you have any questions about food or something you want him to try, do let us know, and we'll pass it on to Jay.
Yep.
And then we'll include Jay's Instagram stuff on the link when we put the show out.
Yep.
Yeah, I got to step up my Instagram game, man. I haven't been posting for a while. So
Oh no, that's okay, Jay.
I'll see if I can go ahead and get these pictures up on Instagram.
Okay.
And that way people know what we're talking about.
Okay, awesome.
Cool.
All right, guys, take care.
Okay, thank you, man. Have a bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, thank you, Jay, for hanging out with us for 45 minutes talking about Lunar New Year food. The festival looked really fun. And if, trying different foods that are out of pocket for you, this is the sort of thing you want to get involved in. Just take a little, just take a trip if you get a chance and try something new. And Jay provides a nice little template for you to go through and do things. So yeah, very thankful he comes on and shares his knowledge. Class act guy all the way, and I can't wait for Udi to meet him. And in fact, maybe Becky at some point we can all hang out and crack wise and have some good food.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those people you want to hang out with and just talk about Disneyland or football. Or I know Becky wants to talk to him about football, but
Yeah, I can't wait.
yeah, about probably a bunch of other things too. All right, so that's going to wrap up episode number 214. Thank you so much for listening today, this afternoon, this morning. We do appreciate it very much. Again, follow us on Instagram at leavingtodaypodcast.com. We have a link tree on there. We have our Patreon stuff on there as well. Actually, Instagram is Leaving Today Podcast, and then follow us at leavingtodaypodcast.com for our website. It's all pretty self-explanatory. Reach out to us. And then also, every other Thursday night between 6:30 and 7:30, the LTP Lounge is live. That's when Udi and I will talk about 3 or 4 different topics, and then have anyone that wants to come on, we will open up a video channel for you to come on in and talk. We would very much love that. But if you want to like lurk around in the chat and ask questions, we are into that as well. So that is LTP Lounge. Check us out on Instagram. Also, just check our socials because we'll be posting things on there. All right. In addition, you can reach out to us by sending an email at info@leavingtodaypodcast.com. That's a very long call to action.
Wait, you're still going?
I'm still going. Okay. Becky, where can people find out more about you?
You can find me on Instagram at Becky_Weimer, BECKY_WEIM, as in Mickey Mouse, ER.
There you go. Awesome. Udi, where can people find out more about you?
You can find me on my social. Well, you can find me on my other show, The Manda Show. We should be recording this week. We have we're part of a yearly podcast kind of thing where Star Wars podcasters get together and put out like a big I can't remember the name of it right offhand. Sorry.
The Concilium thing?
No. This is like a bunch of different Star Wars podcasters will put out a very specific podcast for like Star Wars Day kind of thing.
Okay.
So we'll be doing that. And then we're gearing up after that for Andor Season 2. But you can find me there along with my cohort over there, my brother, Joe, and Chad. Anyway, and then you can find me on my socials, which are both Twitter and Instagram, but really mainly Instagram, which is HAXGOALIE, Hacks Goalie. I respond to all my DMs.
All right.
There, yeah.
All right, there it is, LTP family. That is how to find us. And again, check us out every other Thursday night for LTP Lounge Live. All right, thank you so much for listening. We love you, adventures out there, and we will see you in the parks.
Bye.
See ya.
And I'm ready to listen.
Bite his box.
Snack break.
I've got tacos waiting for me.
Oh, man. Where's my invite?
I feel like Udi's going to lose it with the news.
You pushed the wrong button.
I did. I pushed the wrong button.
That's what he said.
Wait, how do I get you bigger?
You broke it.
Yeah.
Why are you throwing up? You trying to eat all your food before your sister does? Now you can eat that. But you make me hot. It's so close, I can feel it.
Kitty.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
Boy, was my face red.
Can we do that again?